Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Palworld. Now, if you've been living under a rock, this game has been the talk of the town over the last couple of days, whether that is because the game has achieved tremendous success, or because people are having a fantastic time playing the game, or because people are accusing the developers of using generative AI to come up with the designs for its pals, which are the monsters in the game that you can tame and, use for doing chores and engage in combat with and all of that stuff. And today I'm not going to be tackling the generative AI stuff because I was initially thinking I'll do my first impressions video, and then in that video I'm also going to be talking about the generative AI, but I kind of feel like those are two separate discussions. So I will be making that video where I'll talk about what people are accusing the game of and what is my personal take on all of that. That's going to be a separate thing, but today I want to focus on the game itself. So let's get started. Why exactly are people so excited about this game? What do you do in this game? And all of that jazz, right? So right off the bat, I should mention that there is a certain game that I feel like this is very similar to, which is Ark Survival Evolved. Now, a lot of people I've seen out there are saying, if you like Ark Survival Evolved, you're probably going to like this. If you don't like Ark Survival Evolved, you're probably not going to like this. Well, I might just be the exception because I hate Ark Survival Evolved. This isn't even an exaggeration. I legitimately hate that game. And there was a point in my life where I had to play that game for work when I was at TGN because a lot of people wanted the squadron to play Ark Survival Evolved, and I never liked it. I hated that game, okay? As a matter of fact, I thought that I was going to jump into this, and I thought I wasn't going to like it either, because the thing is, when it comes to games like Ark, for starters, when it comes to Ark, there's also the fact that I feel like the developers are absolute scam artists. Like, the way that they've conducted themselves and that they've done their business is absolutely despicable. So I don't want to dive too deeply into that. You guys can look that information up for yourselves if you're interested. But let's just say that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is I just feel like the game was very lazily developed, didn't have proper animations, and had a lot of really boring management things that you had to do, which apparently is something that happens in a lot of survival games, which is why I thought that when I was going to jump into Palworld, it was going to be the same thing, but somehow it wasn't. It was different, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about it as we move forward. But before, I figured we'd talk a little bit about the visuals. Now, I have the game running at 4K. I don't think I have all the settings maxed out. I can check real quick because my 6900 XT was struggling with it a little bit. No, we do have everything maxed out. Never mind. We have everything maxed out. We limited the FPS to 60. We turned off motion blur because who the hell uses motion blur to begin with? Let's get real, right? So I have everything maxed out on my 6900 XT. Back at my house, I wasn't able to stream and have everything maxed out, but that's because I'm doing a single PC setup there, but that's neither here nor there. The game runs fine. I have a friend of mine, Kegarin, who is running the game on a 1050 Ti, but he's running it on minimum settings. He says it runs okay. Have another friend of mine, Wadanagashix, who is running the game on a 2060 on medium settings at 1440p. So it seems to me like the game is reasonably optimized, which is something that usually when you have a game that's in early access, like is the case here, very rarely do these games come properly optimized and functional off the bat. There's usually a ton of jank and all of that. And as you guys will see, I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay. Do keep in mind, I am not running the game locally on my computer. I'm running through a server, which we're going to be talking a little bit more further ahead. So if you see any rubber banding or anything like that, that is because the server, you can also play the game locally, completely offline, without connecting to the internet. That is an option that you have, and you will not have this rubber banding and stuff. So what do you do in this game? So I unequipped all of my tools, and this will be usually the location that you start the game in. You have this statue here that acts as a teleporter, lets you teleport anywhere you want in the world where you've already unlocked things. We'll talk a little bit more about the map later on, but you jump into the game. It's your basic survival game, but there are pals. Now, as you begin your journey, there's going to be objectives on the top right-hand side of the screen. There's no objectives here because we've done all of the starting things, and now the game is just like, hey, go do your thing, go have fun. There's still plenty of progression to be had for me and my friends, but right now I want to just show you guys the basics. So eventually they're going to teach you how to craft a pal sphere, which is the equivalent of a Pokeball, let's just be real. And that is going to allow you to go ahead and collect some of these dudes. So I'm going to just punch this guy a little bit. How you doing? Just going to punch this Chickpea a little bit. Now we're going to throw the ball at him. Boink. And as you can see, you're going to capture it. earlier in the game, you might struggle a little bit. You might have to throw more than one ball to actually capture them. But the fundamental basics of capturing work pretty much the same way that they work with pretty much any other monster capture game, I would imagine. Now, after that, you're going to be able to cycle through your pals that you have on the bottom left-hand side. So we do have the Chikipi here that we've captured, and I'm going to throw him out. Once you throw him out, he is going to assist you in combat whenever you get into combat. I don't want to go fight that thing, though, because it's too high level for my poor little Chikipi. His health is going to regenerate over time, so long as you keep him well fed. I actually don't know exactly how you can heal them. I know there's probably a way to do it. But, you know, from what I've played of the game, I haven't really messed with that too far. I haven't felt the need to. You can heal them back at base in case they die. We'll talk more about bases in a bit. But, you know, let's say then you start engaging in combat. And, you know, with this guy, you're going to see that our dude is going to start attacking as well. He's going to help me out. See? There you go. He's going to wreck him. And he's dead. Another one's going to show up. And they're going to get engaged in combat. Go ahead. Attack him. Get him. Actually, I'm just going to let you be aggressive. Go on. Kill that bastard. Chikipi, get him! Oh no, he hit me. Come on, get him, dude. Did they kill each other? No, they're trying to kill me. Come on. Bro, my Chikipi's not being very good. Then again, the other one has way more levels than mine, and he killed him! He killed my dude. That's unacceptable. Aww. So now my Chikipi goes back into my ball. And he is downed, basically. But I do have other ones way more powerful and stuff. So you can collect your pals and you can use them in combat and do all of that stuff which you would expect in a game like this. But there's also a survival element. So you're going to be expected to collect resources. So initially you're not going to have any tools, just going to walk up to a tree, punch it. And as you will see, as we punch this tree, eventually wood starts coming out. There you go. 1 wood, 2 wood, 3 wood, you know. The usual stuff that you would do. You can also get like stones, which is a different material. You can pick them off the ground. You can also pick up wood off the ground, and there are other different materials that you'll be expected to collect. Like, for instance, this right here is a material called paldium, which is required for you to make your pal spheres. I actually think that you might need a pickaxe to collect this one properly. But the idea is, no, actually, you can still punch paldium out of stuff. You can collect almost anything by punching at it, but as you can see, it's not particularly effective. So eventually, as you progress through the game, you're going to build yourself a base, and then you're going to be able to craft some tools and do stuff like that. So let me just also pick up this treasure chest while we're here, because there might be something good there. There you go. Pal sphere, pal souls. There's chests spread throughout the game that you'll be able to collect. There's treasures, all of that stuff. There's a lot of content to do. You can also climb, very much inspired by Zelda, as you can see, Breath of the Wild. I'm not saying that Breath of the Wild has like a copyright on, a patent on climbing mountains. But, you know, they were the ones I feel like have popularized it in recent times. So that's kind of like why I bring that up. So we're going to climb back up here. We're going to go to the teleporter, and I'm going to show you a little bit of one of the first bases that we've made, which was our humble beginnings in this server. Me and my friends, we just decided, hey, we're going to go somewhere, and we don't want to start at the very beginning of the game. So we're going to go build a base like all the way over here. So we ran all the way out into this location. We decided this is where we build our base. This looks like a tropical paradise almost. Looks really nice. And as you can see, this is kind of just haphazardly built because we were just trying to figure out systems, get our pals to some sleeping beds, some, you know, food stuff and whatnot. And we created a very basic base just to get some stuff going. And at this base, you will eventually be able to build things like I could put a workbench in here. And then you could use this workbench to go ahead and create your tools and all types of stuff, right? This workbench just uses wood, so it's super easy to make. And then you'll be able to come in here and start creating tools. And that is what I already have. So we have axe, pickaxes, we have a gun, we have a torch. And, you know, you kind of like start building up this tech tree because you start leveling up. Capturing pals and killing pals, engaging in combat, you start leveling up your character. And then you have access to this technology tree. And this, I believe people have told me, is very similar to Ark. I don't remember what Ark was like. I've tried to delete those memories from my head because I really hated that game. And you can basically research these things because you're going to get technology points as you level up, and you research the things that you want to do, and you can get things like metal axe, the crossbow that I have. You can get a better armor, which is pelt armor. You can get a submachine gun for one of your pals. Yes, that is one of the technology things that you can research, and then you can go capture one of these pals, and you can literally give him a submachine gun, and he will use it whenever you tell him to. So he will shoot other pals with a machine gun. Tansy, on the other hand, can actually get an AK-47 assault rifle. So, you know, just your standard thing that you would have on your monsters. They can get weapons. Not all the monsters get weapons. As a matter of fact, none of the ones that I have been using have weapons, but, you know, I like them nonetheless. One of my favorite ones is actually this guy. I recently picked him up. I like him. He's a chill dude, and you can ride him. And you can ride lots and lots of pals. So you can ride this guy. He goes really fast. And he has this attack where he shoots a ball of fire that will shred most things. It's like a cluster ball, but whatever. You guys get the idea, right? You get your pals, you get to ride them, and eventually you'll also be able to get flying pals. Let me actually dismount here. And you will get to ride those as well, and you'll be able to fly, which is pretty nice. There's a stamina-based system, as you can see right there, below our character on the bottom right. And, you know, once that stamina runs out, you're going to fall down. But you will be safe because you're on a bird, so the bird doesn't actually take fall damage. I don't know if that's something that they potentially plan on changing. Looks like my friends are upgrading the base level because they've been leveling up and they've been playing last night and whatnot. So let me actually show you guys, because after that, we decided that we'd explore the map a little bit. And as you can see, we explored quite a bit. But the reality is, assuming that this darkened square is the entirety of the map, there's still quite a lot to explore. Now, I don't know how much of this is filled in with content. Do keep in mind, this game is in early access, but I can tell you there's definitely plenty of content here. Because the gameplay loop is you basically go out, you capture pals, then you can get them to work on your base. And that is one of the coolest things, because this base that we're at right now is kind of abandoned. I just wanted to show you guys like our humble beginnings and stuff, but we are working on a much more modern base, and it's actually dark, so I'm gonna have to pull out a torch so that you can see this. So this is the base that we were working on yesterday, and as you can see, Wada Nagashi is actually over there just doing stuff. We have pals doing stuff throughout the base, but the reason I like this, right, because like I told you guys, one of the reasons I don't like Ark is all the menial tasks that I would have to do all of the time, because I get bored of doing menial tasks. I like grinding, don't get me wrong, but if grinding basically means go out and chop 1,000,000 trees, sign me out. I don't like that, okay? I like grabbing stuff a little fast and doing a little bit of gathering, sure, that's fine, but going out and chopping 1,000,000 trees or use a pickaxe and collect 1,000 stone, I don't want to do that. I think that stuff is boring as hell. And that's kind of where pals come in. Unfortunately, it's nighttime, so you guys can't really see them in their full glory because they're sleeping. And I can't really change the server time because my friends are online, and I'd have to like call them up and like, hey guys, come sleep so we can make it daytime again. But the idea here is these pals manage the whole base aspect down to a T. So the one system that you have to keep track of, the one maintenance system this game has at this point in time, is hunger. So as you can see, if I use this is food, these are baked berries. If I use this, I can feed my pals, and, you know, you just use that and they'll start eating stuff, and there's more... You know, there's more powerful food that you can use. We usually just use berries because they're very easy to get, so it's whatever. You can eat yourself. And here's an interesting thing as well, because like I said, I don't like managing stuff. The only thing you got to manage is your pal's hunger, and there's also like a heat gauge. So if you look on the bottom left-hand side, there's a heat gauge, very much like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And it's got a cold and hot meter, and if that becomes a problem, you're going to have to wear appropriate clothing, or you can also use a pal. So if I summon, for instance, if I summon this fire pal, while he's close to me, I can actually be in a cold environment because he will keep me warm, so long as he doesn't run away like that, because whenever they're in base, they like running away and doing tasks. But yeah, so the whole point, the only thing that you really need to manage for yourself is hunger. and heat. And you can even research a bag that you just put food in there, and your character will automatically eat from that bag. So all you got to do is remember every now and then, just put a bunch of food in there, and you're good to go. So I don't even have to manage like hunger gauge, thirst gauge, all of these things that I hate doing in other games. And so, in case you guys are wondering, okay, what about this resource collection that you're doing with your pals and stuff? Well, you get these things that are basically infinite wood and stone, and the pals just come in here and they just mine on this thing all day long, automatically by themselves. And every now and then I just have to come in here, collect the stuff that they've mined, and deposit it in this box. And the boxes, they're a network. Whatever's in the box, you can access it from any crafting station in the house. So currently we have available 5,000 wood, 3,000 stone, 500 paldium, which let me basically build this whole thing. So by using the pals, I was able to build something like this. And I kind of feel like in most games that involve this type of, gathering and crafting and all that stuff, in order to build something this big like this castle that we got going here, it is going to take a lot of hours of collecting and boredom and annoyance. And in here, we collected a couple of pals, which was fun, going out and hunting them to begin with. And then after that, they just work the base for us. Like that guy even works during night, right? the bat-looking thing with the glowy stuff even works during night. All you got to do is ensure that they have conditions to maintain themselves. And now I hear you guys ask, but you still have to feed all of those pals. No, because we make a plantation. They themselves come to the plantation, they seed the plantation, they water the plantation, they harvest the crops, and after they harvest the crops, they take all of them and put them here, which is a feed box. So as you can see, we have 168 berries. Looks like they've either been slacking or Wada just came in here and raided the berries. But basically, they put food in here, and then whenever they're hungry, they don't need you to feed them. They come in here because they know this is the feed box. They come in here and they feast on it, and then they go back to do their business. There's also other things in here, like, for instance, you can put certain pals working in this thing, which is, it's really dark. My apologies. You can put pals working in this thing, and they'll actually just generate the pal spheres so that we don't even have to craft them ourselves. Like, I have 126 of those right now, and there's probably a bunch more in this box because we're usually stacking them here. Yep. 188, and they just passively generate resources there, passive generate resources there, and you can kind of automate a lot of the really boring stuff that you usually get in these games. You also need to make facilities to make sure that your pals are happy, like they can take a sauna bath if they ever have problems, like if they're feeling depressed or whatever. This improves their mood. They can sleep if they're tired, like, humane working conditions, okay? We provide those for our pals. But that's kind of the thing. So you build your base, you go through the technology tree, which, by the way, in case you're wondering, I've played this game for about 20 hours now. I'm currently level 18. I could be much higher if I wanted to, but I spent a decent chunk of time building this thing and exploring and doing other stuff, right? And, the technology tree goes all the way up to 50, and we're still in early access. I would expect this to eventually go even further, and by the time you get to level 50, you're talking about making things like mounted missile launchers, rocket launchers, electric pylons. There's a lot of crazy stuff that you can get to do further on. I have no idea how this is going to pan out, but so far it's been a pretty fun experience. And like I said, this is a relatively new early access title, which I initially, after seeing the trailers, I was like, there's no way this is an actual game. This is an absolute scam. This is, this is not going to be a thing at all. And I'm happy to say that I was completely wrong because stuff actually worked out. So I'm going to go over here because I want to see if I can show you guys a bit of a boss fight. I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill this. We usually hunt in groups. Let me just see here. I'm going to pull out... Yeah, we'll just fly there. I'll pull out my flyer. The boss is over here. We're just going to try to fly there real quick. Now, besides bosses, there's also dungeons and stuff that you can go and do. There's tons of content. So from base building to collecting pals to doing dungeons to even raiding some of the enemy factions, because there's an NPC faction that tries to capture pals as well and force them to do labor. Kind of like what we do, really, but And you know, there's a lot of stuff for you to go out and do. And that's kind of like the name of the game. See, this is a world boss, Supreme Fluff Commander, King Paka. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to summon a fire dude, even though I think King Paka might be fire as well. So I don't know if this is going to work out too well, but we'll do our best. We'll try it out. See, this is my most powerful dude, and I'm going to go ahead and take these dudes out. I'm actually dealing damage this time because the first time we defeated this dude, it was annoying because we couldn't actually deal any damage to him. Gonna take out these guys, this guy, and you have like a combat roll and everything, so you do have some proper combat. You're gonna have to dodge that. Like I said, you will see a little bit of rubber banding because server. Probably gonna restart the server before. Oof, I'm gonna die. There's no way I'm surviving this. Come on, Arsox, get him. Nope, Arsox is dead, and now I'm gonna die too. I'm gonna try and see if the Toko will blow himself up, because that's that, yep, blow him up, kill him! It didn't deal that much damage. So anyways, I'm gonna die, which is going to really suck, because I usually don't die that often in the game, but now I'm gonna have to come back here and gather my stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. But basically, there's some proper fights to be had. I clearly wasn't ready for this one, but there's some proper fights to be had. There's some proper fun to be had in the game. And so far, at this point, I would actually recommend the game. Like, I think the game is a ton of fun. And for, if you like these types of games, you know, survival, wait, where am I going to... Oh, God. I'm going to have to respawn so far away. Oof. No, this is actually fine. I can just respawn at base, and I can teleport closer. But like I was saying, at the price point, this game is currently selling for like $30 or something. That's their price point. And I've already gotten over 20 hours of gameplay time, which to me more than justifies the purchase already, even though I understand a lot of people want to get more time. But like I showed you, there's still plenty of more content to go through, and I plan on playing the game quite a bit more. But on top of it, something that I thought was very interesting is that naturally the game has seen a lot of success, which I guess was originally not expected. As you can see here, Palworld has sold over 5 million copies in only 3 days. 5 million copies. This is currently the most played game on Steam. And bear in mind that like this 24-hour peak has been increasing every single day. We're looking at 1.5 million players, concurrent players. And this game has also launched on Game Pass. So this is available for free if you have Game Pass, yet a lot of people are still buying the Steam version because due to certification process and whatnot, the version that is on Xbox is not currently as up to date as the Steam version, which that's something that the thing is, you could tell, oh, they need to work on that, but the problem is that that's just the certification process, which they're usually a little bit harsher with developers that they don't know, which just probably happens to be the case for Pocket Pair. I've seen a lot of games that have struggled with certification. Like back in the day, Warframe used to struggle with certification, to give you guys an idea. But for $30, I think you're getting a ton of really fun content if you like this kind of game. Like if the gameplay that I showed you seems like it's fun. Now, we should also talk about the multiplayer, because there have been complaints that I've seen recently. I mean, I haven't seen the complaints themselves. I've seen the developers addressing this, though, which is the fact that a lot of players are having troubles connecting to the official multiplayer servers because there's multiplayer servers for this game. But the thing that I find really cool is because usually whenever you have a game like this, right, that has some degree of multiplayer, and it also has, by the way, I know that you guys saw me drop my pals there and stuff. That's because of the default server settings of the server that I set up. You can set difficulty options for this not to happen, and in normal difficulty and solo mode, that doesn't happen. But as I was saying, so because of the popularity of the game, naturally they're struggling to meet demand with the official servers. But the thing that I was surprised by is that you can actually, for starters, play the game offline if you want to, but they give you the server. which I think usually a lot of these types of games don't give you the server. And what I mean by they give you the server, they give you the ability to boot up your own private server if you want to. And I feel like a lot of survival games don't do that. They don't let you just host your own server from your house. And that's what I did. I was like, oh, you guys giving us the server? Like if we go to Steam right here, you can actually see that when I bought Palworld, it also came with this thing, Palworld dedicated server. So I can just boot up a dedicated server. You can do some command prompts and stuff. They actually have the instructions so that you can fiddle with that if you want to. So like if we return to title here real quick, and we just go to join multiplayer game and you go how to set up a server, they straight up have a website dedicated for this, and they tell you how to do it. They give you all of the instructions. They tell you the command prompts, all of that stuff. They also teach you how to create community servers if you want to have them available for your community and all of that. So they straight up even give you the tools to do all of these things by yourself, which I think is really good value. $30, they give me the server. I can host the server for me and my friends. We can all just play the game together. Even when the official servers are down, it's like, hey, that's not my problem. Your official servers are busted. I can still play my game with my friends. I think that's cool. I think that's good value. Feel free to tell me otherwise. Now, the other part of the discussion, like I said, is the generative AI discussion, which I've seen a lot of allegations being thrown around. I've seen a lot of people that are way too comfortable just throwing allegations out there without a single shred of evidence. But that warrants its own video, which I will do probably tomorrow because it'll give people more time to potentially dig even deeper into this. And that way I can, analyze even more evidence. But what I'm seeing right now, I wouldn't worry that much about it for now, but that is a subject for another video. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Palworld. I'm having a ton of fun. I actually should be streaming it right now. I'm 4 minutes late to my stream because I'm recording this video because I was playing this game up until 3 a.m. last night. But that is going to be it for now. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification icon, all that jazz. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.